Alright, in this lesson we're going to be looking at an example for IELTS Task 1. This example is a diagram. In the lesson we will go through each of the three parts of the Task 1 paragraph. Remember, the first couple sentences are to describe. The main part of the paragraph, 10 to 12 sentences, is to analyze, compare, contrast, and describe. And then finally, the last couple of sentences will be to conclude, basically tell the reader what we learned from this diagram, or what can be seen. So the example that we will be looking at is from www.aehelp.com website. So if you want to find out more, do an online IELTS course, please visit us there. Now let's have a look at the example. Okay, writing task 1 question. The diagram below shows the water cycle. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features, and make comparisons where relevant. 20 minutes, 150 words minimum. Okay, let's look at the picture here, and let's observe the main features of this diagram. So as we can see, we have the sky with some clouds and the sun, we have the land with some mountains and surface water, and then we have the underground. So let's be logical and systematic. Here we go. First part, describe. So this diagram shows the water cycle. It has 3 main parts: the sky, the land, and the underground. Now we'll do a little bit more describe to explain what we can see in these 3 main parts. So in the sky, we can observe the sun, some clouds, semicolon, on land there are mountains and surface water, and underground are rocks and groundwater. So that's good. We have about 20 to 30 words here, which just tells the reader that we know what we're looking at, we know what we're going to describe. Now we can also see some arrows which show the cycle or the direction of water movement. So let's just add that last part. Several arrows. Arrows is a good word to know for describing diagrams. Of course, arrows are the lines with points that show directions. Several arrows indicate the direction of the hydrologic. Hydrologic is just another way to say water cycle, so hydrologic cycle. Again, remember, paraphrasing is very important to get a nice high mark. So we're continuing from here, it's all one paragraph. So several arrows indicate the direction of the hydrologic cycle. Okay, so now that's a complete description, and we will now go on to the main part, which is analyzing the steps or stages in this diagram. Again, remember, just like in the last lesson for flowcharts, very often diagrams show a process. It's some kind of physical process, so usually something we can see in nature, like the water cycle, or it can be a mechanical process, like a production process. So for example, making cameras, making pencils, making computers, and the steps that are used in the production process. So again, remember to use your process essay vocabulary. Remember to use strong connecting expressions like first, second, next, then, after that, once this happens, the next step is, and so on. Okay, when you have a cycle which is continuous, like this water cycle, it can begin anywhere. So try to choose a start point that's very clear, logical. In this diagram, we can choose a couple of different start points. One start point is over the mountains with the rain, and the other start point that is a good start point for this diagram is with the surface water, because as we know, the sun evaporates the surface water and brings it up to form clouds. So I'm going to start with the surface water here. So. To begin, the sun heats surface water so that it evaporates and moves up into the atmosphere. Okay, and then we go to the second step here, which is the formation of the clouds. So as the water cools, it forms clouds. Okay, now once these clouds are formed, of course, as we know, the clouds are then pushed towards land. So after these clouds move over land and become heavy with moisture, forming rain clouds.